Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, November 16th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candle that you see right there will be moving around still. That's because the market's open for a small amount of time. And I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, KNTE. Very, very nice movement today. And now we have ourselves a nice pattern headed into tomorrow. And when you have good solid patterns like this, so I don't want to come across like this is some sort of great discovery on my part or a special talent. Nothing like that. In fact, you got to think a lot of people have noticed this pattern that I'm going to draw here. And I mention all that because when a lot of people are watching the same patterns and wondering the same types of dynamics, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. It can produce some very dynamic movement. So in fact, let me just change just one color, make it easier to see. We have our resistance. We have our support. We have the big upwards move right here. A few golfers out there try to make it a little bit more visual, but the golf hole down there, this would be known as a bull pennant pattern. So while nothing is guaranteed, is it plausible to think that if the price can come up to the top part of the pattern and get a break, that break in of itself could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a plausible outcome. So if you like bull pennants, you like stocks down below $10, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, ticker symbol EBIX, and overall nice mover. And as of now, yeah, there is a bit of a pullback that's taking place, but you got to keep in mind the overall context. And the overall context is you had this very nice upwards move here. So that's a very quick way to draw in what would be called a bull flag pattern. But what's interesting about this pullback is you have a very, very nice defined area of support, that being the pink line right there, which on my chart represents a very famous 200 period moving average. In fact, classic example right there of that area acting as resistance. But then when the price broke up through it, you can see the momentum followed. And then there's just a classic rule in charting which states when levels of resistance are broken and closes above, they tend to act as support. Again, not guaranteed, but nobody would be shocked if the price came down to that pink line there and then got some sort of bounce back up it. So as far as pullbacks are concerned, very, very interesting scenario. Now, I do realize if you're a day trader, flipper, scalper, whatever you want to call yourself, and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within, 7 minutes. Well, from that angle, the chart looks really, really bad. But I am commenting more so on the bigger picture point of view, and for those people that like to play pullbacks into pretty well-defined areas of support. So again, if you like this price range down below $10, you like these sorts of pullback scenarios, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, ticker symbol LU. Did this one yesterday and finally got that bounce that I was alluding to. Could very well happen with just the stock getting beat down as much as it did. So very nice bounce, which now brings about a very key question. And let me get this level mapped out here first, down there at 91 cents. But the key question being, okay, yeah, this was definitely, no doubt about it, very, very nice bounce. But is this a truly genuine bounce? Is there any sort of genuine strength behind this move? And I have no idea. But by using charts, we can make answering that question very straightforward. And it all revolves around this 91 cent mark, because any sort of movement with genuine power, no price can go straight up. But the price is going to at least show signs of progress. And my quote unquote sign of progress is right here at 91 cents. Meaning if the price were to come down here, behave like that, and then curl back upwards, what would you have from a bigger picture point of view? You'd have a set of lows right there. You'd have those lows down there. And if you envision those as stair steps, you'd still have stair steps progressing in the upwards direction, which again is what a strong move is going to do. Not go straight up, just make progress. So again, can this make progress? Let's see if it can stay up above 91 cents. In terms of areas of resistance, you can see right now that pink line 200 period moving average being very, very stubborn. So if there is any sort of attempted move back upwards, definitely keep an eye on that 200 period moving average. Next one here, ticker symbol MARA, and overall nice pattern here. Nothing new in terms of patterns we've already talked about, so I'm going to go through this one a little quicker because you've already heard me, say all this stuff, so I don't want to waste your time by just talking about the same things over and over again. So we have the top part of the pattern right here. We have a nice area of support right there. Change that to green. And then again, just because I can't help myself, let's keep it all the same color. So we have our resistance, we have our support. We have the big upwards move here. We have the golf hole down there. So we have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. This one only, I'd say the biggest difference is this one's up over the $10 mark. But all in all, nice day here for MARA. And we'll see if the bulls can get more continuation to the upside and if this momentum wants to continue. Next one here, ticker symbol AMC, and rough day today. And this will mean a tad bit more to those of you that watched the video from yesterday. But if you did, I talked about that green line right there being the level that was just going to measure the progress because, as I've already mentioned, no price can go straight up, but you do at least want to see progress. And unfortunately, today the price came down to that level, and you can see originally bounced right off it, but then on that 30-minute candle broke down below there. Now, the good news here is it didn't break down below it and then just keep on bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. Did not do that. It at least started to go sideways, which is, not as good of as it could have been, but it's not nearly as bad as what, could have happened if the floodgates really opened up and down it went. But nonetheless, this level has been violated, so not a good sign, which now brings about what I would consider a very important level of support, which is down here at this essentially double bottom spot at 777. You can see right here, acted as support, once again today, acted as support. So if the price comes down there and breaks through there, that would just be a pretty big sign that the bears are not only keeping control, but gaining that much more of control of the chart. So 777, definitely a very, very important level. In terms of areas of resistance, in the very near term, you still have that purple line right there. If the price breaks up through there, then you have that overarching level up there at 835. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box, or if you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. Next one here, ticker symbol CISO. Penny stock here that absolutely exploded and is now pulling back. So as I talked about in the previous one, a little bit of perspective here. If you're a day trader, flipper, and you bought up there and your plan was to buy and sell within 10 minutes, well then yes, from that angle, chart's looking pretty rough. But from the grand scheme of things, yes, the price is pulling back right now. But assuming you care about the bigger picture point of view, then you would say, okay, yeah, fair enough, it's pulling back right now. But what was happening before this pullback? And you had this massive move right there, which is giving me the ability to draw that bull flag pattern. So if you like penny stocks, if you like bull flag patterns, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, PLUG, or no, I lied. That's coming in a couple. This one is NIO. So again, ticker symbol NIO. So let's take a look at this one as it had a very, very nice day today. And same general idea. You have the move up, you have the pullback. But a little different in the sense of, the key breakout level here. Now, some would call it up there, and I'm not going to disagree with that because you're right. That is a level. But I think a more important one in the near term is basically the top part of this little miniature channel here that formed, with the top of it being right around that $8 mark. You can see that on the pullback, started to go sideways, but then it just could not bumped its head on that area several times. Now, it's not like the price continued to pull back or anything like that. But my point here is that before you really put any focus or emphasis on that area of resistance up there, the price first needed to prove itself in the near term, and quote unquote prove itself being defined as getting above and staying above that $8 mark. So keep an eye on those couple levels as far as resistance. Yes, again, up there is relevant, but I would argue $8 is much more relevant at this point in time. In terms of areas of support, from an overarching standpoint, you have the pink line down there, the 200 paired moving average. You have the 50 paired moving average right there. So a lot of good things going on. In the very near term, the level of support to watch closely would be right there at 788. But if 788 fails, it's not like the chart's destroyed or ruined because, again, you still have those overarching levels down there. But all in all, nice tight little range here. We'll see if the price can get a break back to the upside. Next one here, PLUG, and I'm not lying here. This one actually is PLUG. So been tracking this one very routinely as it's been continues putting those higher highs and higher lows. And once again, same exact thing here. Yes, if you're a flipper and you bought there, then you're probably not too happy. But from the bigger picture of things, this one has continued to put in those higher highs. And as I've been saying, that's what matters. Get those higher highs, get those higher lows, and the rest of the chart is going to take care of itself. And then it's also relatively similar to the one we just looked at, with that key level of resistance being more so in the near term, at least in my opinion, right there at $4.39. So yes, up here, there's no doubt about it, is a valid area of resistance to be talking about. But again, before you get too far ahead of yourself, let's just see if the price can prove itself in the near term by getting above that area there at $4.39. In terms of areas of support, interesting dynamic here. You can see that the purple line has all of a sudden stopped going down and is now curled back upwards. So the longer the price stays above that purple line, the more this purple line is going to start to slope its way back upwards, which essentially is an uptrending line drawing itself for you. And that's what it's all about. You want to see these moving averages get an uptrending slope to it. And that's what has, again, begun right there. And not just a question of staying above it. So that line continues to build that upward slope. But overall, good day today with the higher high and higher low. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and another nice day here. First thing I'm going to do is just extend this line out that I talked about in yesterday's video, as it's been doing a good job. And that was a level where I talked about saying, if the price can stay above there, that's actually a really, really impressive sign of strength. And you can see that another day in the book, and the price has done a good job of, acknowledging and respecting that line. I guess kind of got close to it right there. I was going to say kind of got close right there, but no, that's a little bit of a stretch. But point here being, it's staying above that level beautifully. So that really just illustrates how strong this one is. And I'm just going to go ahead and adjust this area of resistance. And the question here becomes, well, what direction is this resistance being adjusted? I'm going to just resistance right up to where the price, finally, the party stopped today, which is at basically 247. And you notice that resistance needed to be adjusted in the upwards direction. So assuming you're bullish, then whenever levels of resistance need to be adjusted higher, that is definitely always a good thing. So really, in all actuality, basically have another little wedge formation forming, top of the wedge. You got the bottom of the wedge. A very poor looking bull pennant pattern. That's probably trying to fit a square peg through a round hole. But nonetheless, doesn't take away from the fact that you have a nice little wedge here that is formed. So as long as the price keeps on putting those higher highs and higher lows by staying above that trend line right there, that is by far what matters most. Next one here, TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ. So if you believe the NASDAQ market is going to go up, this one will also go up. Biggest difference here is that it just allows you access at a much lower price point. And overall today, good solid day, putting that higher high. Yes, it did pull back, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this level because I think there's a level that more people will be watching. And I like to try to figure out those levels that most people will be watching, because that way you can increase the odds of those self-fulfilling prophecies. And in my mind, I think a lot of people will be keeping a relatively close eye on a resistance trend line relatively similar to there. And then also just because, and let me get rid of that level as it served its purpose. And then just from a pattern standpoint, you have a good multi-day pattern here that is formed with that lower trend line right there. And then resistance, support, nice upwards move there. So essentially another bull pennant pattern. So was today as explosive as yesterday? It wasn't. But you can't have days as explosive as as Tuesday every single day. But overall, healthy looking chart. Got a bit of a pullback, but not a crash or anything like that. And I know I've been saying it, but it just, that's just kind of how it went today. That yes, things pulled back, but everything is put in those higher lows, and that's what you want to see. So higher highs, higher lows. That's the name of the game. And that wraps up the top 10 list again. So if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more, then definitely go get signed up for that class. It'll be very soon, Thursday, November 16th. At 7 p.m. Eastern time, so I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, please do two things for me. Hit that like button, and then down in the comment section, let me know what you traded today, or tell me what your watch list is for tomorrow. But those two things go a long way in communicating to me that you enjoy. And as long as I know you are enjoying, I'll continue to put in the time and effort to get this content out to you. So like I said, hit that like button, leave a comment down below, go get signed up for that free class. Have a good one.